Well, hello, everybody. This is Roger Keyserling. I am on IGTV. I am also going to transmit on Ecom Tips Podcast. Normally on Monday, I do an IGTV live show, like an official show, not just me driving around in the car. And I talk about, oh my gosh, hear the sirens? I talk about all of what I'm going to discuss on my daily Facebook live show. Every day I do a Facebook Live, which is kind of like what we're seeing now. And I get in, I talk about e-commerce, I talk about recipes, I talk about all kinds of stuff. I am driving, so I'm going to look a little distracted. I do that every morning at 8:30 Central Standard Time. My name is Roger Keyserling. That's Keyserling. And I do an IGTV show live on Monday normally to just tell everyone what we're going to be discussing through the week. Well, this week got a little tricky because I started a business, or I added to my business, making websites for people. As soon as I made that available, I got booked up. I mean, within days, I was booked solid. I have a very cheap price. Now, let me explain something about these websites really quick. I make the websites on Strikingly. You could do them yourself. 100% transparency here. I charge you to do them and put all of the bells and whistles in that most people don't know how to do, okay? But I charge you half of what you would pay if you used a regular web developer. But there's a kicker to this. Oh, shit. Okay, there's a kicker to this. I won't take you as a client unless you are a small, struggling, small business. As a matter of fact, I turned down a client that wanted me to make 5 websites for them, but they made too much money. The only reason I am doing these websites at this greatly reduced price, I'm not going to tell you prices on here, you can look that up. Go to keywebco.com, you can find it. But the only reason I am doing these websites at a greatly reduced price is because one of my friends, contacted me after paying $1,500 for a website. I asked for their login. I wanted to see what they did in the back. I went and looked. There was nothing that was done on that site I could not have done, basically for free, because I know how to do it. So I started researching it out, and what they paid for that site is regular market value. I started asking a few other people that had paid for websites and looking at what they were offering. First off, their websites weren't all that attractive, but it's not the front end that matters as much on the websites. It's important, but not near as important what they do in the back. Well, I've looked at several websites, and all of them, there's nothing that I can't do. As a matter of fact, all of them had stuff that I could have done that they didn't. So I started thinking about this. And then I started thinking about, well, I remember when I started in my business, I paid $800 for graphics work. 6 months later, I learned how to do it all myself, and I realized I could have done all that on Canva for free. Then I paid for a website, the very first one. I did not know how to make them then. And I got a really good rate, but now that I think back of it, I was like, they just did it exactly like what I'm doing now. I paid $650 for a website. And it was made, I'm not sure if it was made on Strikingly. I think it might have been, if I remember right. But there's nothing that I couldn't have done. And easily, not even that difficult. So I've had several people approach me about wanting websites. And I've always just kind of referred them to a website service because that's not what I was in the business of doing. But one of my friends actually said, you know, Roger, your websites are gorgeous. And I know you're doing them yourself. You ought to be in business doing them for people. So I thought about it. I was like, okay, well, maybe I will. So I went looking. But when I started to make my price list, I started thinking for a moment. And I was like, you know what? I remember what it felt like when I paid all that money for a website. And then I learned that I could have done most of it all myself anyway and not paid all that money. I said, well, you know what? I'm not really trying to make a living doing websites. It would be nice. I like doing the websites. But I'm not really trying to make a living doing that. I'm actually just doing it to help out friends that are wanting to get a websites. It doesn't take a whole lot of my time to do them because I'm very good at it. I've been building them for years now. So, we have enough gas to get home? How much did you put in?
$3.21.
Well, that's barely going to get us home. Yeah, I'm on video. All right, that's my employee. He popped in. Just got gas. We put $3.21 in because we need to get home. Actually, we have to stop and put money in the bank on the way home. All right, let me get back to it. So, the website thing. So, I decided to make the prices half of what a good priced, very well priced website developer would do. Now, I've got several methods, and there's several levels to all of this. I guess I'll just go over it really quick with you guys. We're only 6 minutes in. I got a couple more minutes before I need to get off here. But this is how it works. You get a Strikingly website. Sign up right now. Free. Doesn't cost you anything. Doesn't have anything to do with me. Get a Strikingly website. If you do that, you might want to contact me. I'll give you a link. But I don't even care if you do that. Get a Strikingly website. As soon as you sign up for it, it's going to teach you how to build a personal website. Do not build your website for business first. Everybody that signs up for Strikingly should make a website and put your name with a dash or a period or something in the middle. Or you could just put your name with a capital letter, your first name, and then put a capital letter for your last name. Just like mine's Roger-Keyserling.strikingly.com. I'm not doing anything with my personal website, so I don't even think it's complete. But when you sign up for Strikingly, fill out your personal website. Now, your personal website doesn't have to have much in it. Some photos, a little about you, a little about your business, a couple links. It's just something that if you want to have a website for yourself, you have it. It's not really that important. A lot of people will take their personal website on Strikingly and make it their about page for their e-commerce businesses. They, instead of having the about page be on the platform's website, they actually outlink it to the about page that's on their own website. But go ahead and make your personal website. Play around with it. If you can figure out all the stuff you need to do, you don't need to bother me. You can contact me, and for free, I will send you some instant messages and help you. I won't charge you for that. But most people want me to do it for them. So I have a method to do that too. Now, this is for the baseline website. You can blog, you can do stuff like that in there, but you wouldn't have a store or anything like that in there. For the baseline website, I'll just go ahead and tell you what I do. I do a Zoom. This is how I do it. I do one of two ways. I either create the entire website for you on my account, then we do a Zoom, you pay me then, and then we transfer the website to your account, and then from that point on, it's yours to run. And I will show you everything you need to know. That's one method. That's the cheapest. That's only going to cost you about $200, guys. That's half the price you would pay for someone to help you like that. All right, the other option with the same thing, I create it or you create it, we do a Zoom, we get your basic account set up. But if it's something that I create on my account and you don't want to mess with it, there's only certain ones I can do this with, then it's an extra $120 and I just do your website for you. You know, we still do the Zoom, you still get trained, you still know how to do it all, but it basically stays on my account and I just run it for you for a year. That would cost you $320. That's the $200 for the setup and $120 to run it for the year. That's what a lot of people charge just to set up a website for you, not run it and everything else too. All right, and that's a baseline one. Then we get a little more complicated. When you go into the pro versions, that's a big change because that's where I have to teach you how to embed things. You have your own platform in there, or in other words, your own store that you process payments. I cannot set any of those up as pro versions on my account. I can set it up as a basic version on my account, transfer it over, because we're going to set you up a basic one first. Then you're going to upgrade. Now that costs you money. Then you're going to upgrade on Strikingly. That costs you $200 a year for a store. So you're going to upgrade on Strikingly. You're going to pay me the $200 basically to get your setup. But that upgrade doesn't take effect for 14 days. So you have 14 days, and I'll help you too. You have 14 days from our basic setup to when you've already paid for your pro update. If you can figure out how to do all the pro stuff on your own, and I will send you every bit of information you need to do that, then you don't need to pay me to do the Zoom for the upgrade. I'll set up all the basics. But if you can figure out how to upgrade your account and add the stuff that you want to add, there's no reason to pay me to do another Zoom. So don't, and I'll help you. I would much rather you do it yourself than pay me to do it. But if you have difficulties, like let's say you get it all set up and then you're like, some of the things don't work. You opted not to have me set it up for you. Well, I will go in and fix that doing a Zoom, and I will not charge you the setup, but I'll charge you a rate based on what you want me to do. The minimum is $30, okay? So let's say you schedule me for a pro version. You get the first one, and then you get the second one. But you figure out how to do it on the first one so you don't need to upgrade me to the second one. That's wonderful. Alrighty, guys, I went in here, I rattled on and on and on for about 11 minutes. I'm hoping all this will record on IGTV. We may lose a minute of this video on there. But I just wanted to go in and talk to you about the websites. That has been occupying all of my time. So my regular IGTV Monday show did not happen. I'm just in the car talking to you guys. Alrighty, guys, I'm going to let you go. I hope you enjoyed listening to me rattle on and on and on a little bit about e-commerce and in today particular websites. Make sure you look for keywebco.com. If you want to see a boring version of the websites I make, I made a website very boring on purpose because I didn't want people distracted by the backgrounds. I wanted them just to see the features. You can go to keywebco.biz, keywebco.biz, and that will show you a strikingly website. Now, the ones I make for other people are much more attractive. I did that on purpose. I wanted people to see a very basic website so they can see how that website will, all the features that it has. Alrighty, guys, I'll talk to everyone again soon.